Rise and shine, mothers and brothers, and cheese wedges and handlebars all over the world. This is a call for everybody to rise and shine, all the mothers and brothers. I want you to look at your wife and say, rise and shine, mother and brother. I want you to look at your girlfriend, rise and shine. Walk into your children's room and say, rise and shine. Scream it from the mountaintops. Rise and shine, mothers and brothers, and cheese wedges and handlebars all over the world. If you have access to a PA system, get on it. Get on that microphone and say, rise and shine, mothers and brothers, and cheese wedges and handlebars all over the world. Fluffy Beard Friday. Your fluffiness with you today on the ride to work. Beards Without Borders is different than the ride to work. This is kind of like a thing now. The reason why I do ride to work is that it's super convenient. I'm rushing around in the morning, showering, getting dressed, ironing my clothes, grabbing a bite to eat, feeding 10 million animals. And I'm not talking about my children. I'm talking about actual animals, four-legged animals, and the winged animals. I'm wearing blue today for a reason. If you know what that reason is, put a comment down below. Fluffy Beard Friday. Today I have an appointment with a dermatologist for a skin cancer check. It's gonna check everything out. I'm gonna tell the doc, pull out that knife, pull out that laser, burn it off, buzz it off, cut it out, whatever's there. If you find anything, take it off, man. Sew me up. Simple as that. If you don't, I'll do my own surgery. Anyways, two things I want to talk to you about today. First thing is this. I'll tell you a little story. A traveler said to Socrates, which way to Mount Olympus? Which way to Mount Olympus? How do I get to Mount Olympus? Socrates, in his Socratic wisecracker style, said, just make sure every step you take is in the direction of Mount Olympus. Did you get that? A traveler said to Socrates, how do I get to Mount Olympus? Socrates replies, just make sure every step you take is in the direction of Mount Olympus. That's all about goals, man, and being determined. Being single-minded. Forget the multitasking. Now you can multitask. You can throw a load of laundry in, you can do dishes, iron a shirt, vacuum the rugs, check email. You can do a lot of things at once. I tend to do a lot of things at once. But as far as your mind is concerned, your mind can only handle one thing. So for instance, if you are the easily distracted type like I am, you need to set shorter goals. You benefit from long-term goals. You have to have long-term goals. But you need to break them up in smaller bite-sized pieces. For instance, I know salespeople that have a process, a protocol that they call 10 by 10, which means they make 10 phone calls by 10 a.m. in the morning. It's just something they do, 10 by 10. They high-five each other, 10 by 10. Very successful guys, because you get most of your work done in the morning, after lunch, productivity, all over the world. Just goes right down. Make sure every step you take is in the direction of Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus is your goal. If that goal is by 10 o'clock or by 12 noon, make sure every step you take, in other words, every phone call you make, every text. I have people that sit in my chair that just can't wait another 30 friggin' minutes to respond to a girlfriend or a wife. You know what? And I've seen people have, stylists and barbers have capes that have a clear window so people can text. Forget it. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Sit straight up in the chair. When you sit straight in your chair, I give you a better haircut. Does that make sense? That's why I like full-length mirrors, because a person is sitting up straight. I find when a person can see their whole body in front of them when they're getting their hair done, I find that they sit up straighter and that the haircut is actually more of a precision cut. Traffic is crazy today, man. Friday. What the heck is going on, man? I know what's going on. It's anarchy. Anarchy on the roads today on Fluffy Beard Friday. Your fluffiness with you, George Bruno, also known as the Sultan of Fluffy Silver. What is your Mount Olympus? During the day, let's say right now, for me it's morning, I have to make sure that by noon, everything that I want to accomplish is in the direction of my Mount Olympus. Every step, every email, every phone call, I don't get swayed. It's the power of focus. If you took all of your energy and took your mind and focused it on one task, accomplishing one thing, you'd be surprised at how much you accomplish. The power of focus. I'm going to get into that in another video. So what is your Mount Olympus? My Mount Olympus is to build a big house on the ocean and also have one in the mountains. I want to live near my parents and be able to take care of them so they don't have to go into a nursing home when they get older if they don't croak. Let me put it that way. It's our responsibility. If your parents are still living, to take care of them. They took care of you. Return the favor. So that's one of my things. If I happen to meet a woman along the way who wants to join me in my journey, that's wonderful. It's easy to meet women when you're at your goal. Easy to meet a partner when you're at your goal. The key is, do not get emotionally involved with anyone. Get off of the emotional roller coaster while you are on your way to Mount Olympus, unless that person is nothing but a 100% motivator. Unload them. Unload them. Your goals and your dreams are like your babies. If you don't keep them fed, they will die. That's what Grant Cardone says. I agree with him. I agree with everything Grant Cardone says. Listen to him on YouTube. He's a mentor of mine that I've never met, and he's never met me. And I have to give him credit when he says things, and he has a very interesting, unique way of stating the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. Keep that in mind. Don't shoot the messenger. Listen to the message, okay? So what is your Mount Olympus? And what are you going to do to start? Like, for instance, if your goal is a big beard, let's just say you want a big ass beard, big giant beard, a year, even more than a year. You want like a 2-year beard. Go to Beard for All on Instagram, which is probably one of the largest databases of beard pictures I've seen ever on the internet, and identify the beard you want. People ask me all the time, how did you get that beard? What do I have to do to get that beard that you have? You know what I say? Nothing. That's the beauty of it. It comes from, this is one of the only things in life, this right here is one of the only things in life that you get to have by doing nothing. It's not hard work. I want to spend less time in front of the mirror. A tiny bit of trimming here and there, a little bit of shaping early on, and then bingo, the thing just grows by itself. It's a beautiful thing. It's one of the only things in life that you get that's beautiful, that you don't have to work on. Because God gives you beauty. It grows out of your face. So be encouraged, my mothers and brothers, and cheese wedges and handlebars all over the world. Second thing I want to talk to you about is the rocking chair test. Tony Robbins years ago, again, I give credit where credit's due. If I come up with something original, which I have a lot of original things, I don't necessarily always say that this is an original thought, but if I'm borrowing a thought from somebody, I will give credit where credit's due. It's only fair. I heard it from Tony Robbins. I don't know if he made it up. I don't know if he heard it from someone else. It is kind of like universal knowledge, but the way he packaged it was wonderful. He says, picture yourself at 85 or 90 years old. You're sitting on your front porch in a rocking chair, just rocking. And you're thinking back about your life. And of course, whenever you think back on things, you think about regrets. What are the things that you regret? He says. He asks that question. And he asks it rhetorically, because what he says is this: what you regret the most are the things you didn't do, the risks you didn't take. Many of our thoughts about our past are about the things we didn't do and the risks that we didn't take. I should have bought that business. I should have lost weight. I should have asked that girl out. I should have bought that property. I should have followed my dreams, but they got stomped out by cares of the world. They got stomped out by negative influences, friends, family, spouses. It doesn't matter if you work 18 hours a day, you still have 5 minutes to work on your goal. It's a matter of appropriating your time. That's what it's all about. You take a break at work, use that 5 minutes to write. Use that 5 minutes to take steps in the direction of Mount Olympus. So you're 85, 90 years old, you're sitting on a rocking chair, you're thinking about your life, you regret the things that you didn't do. So I want you to do that exercise today. Think about, picture yourself being that old. What will be the things that you regret that you didn't do? What will be the risks that you regret not taking? Two powerful things today. The Mount Olympus and also the rocking chair test. Fluffy Beard Friday. How you doing? The world is going crazy right now. On the outside, but inside of you there's peace. Because I give you that peace. And I will always say, peace be with you. And your response, the proper response is, and also with you. It comes back to me. I give you peace, you give me peace back. And when we bump into each other, when we encounter each other in the world, in a mall, on a street, in an airport, wherever, that is how we always end it. Peace be with you. That's how Beards Without Borders is. I first realized that, I don't know, I was probably about 10 videos into the entire Gray Bailey series when I realized I have a large international audience. And not everybody lives in a little house with a white picket fence and works a 9-to-5 job and kisses their wife and kids goodbye every morning, comes home and they sit in their pool, eat dinner, watch TV, mow the lawn on Saturdays. Not everyone has like a little suburban life. There's a lot of hardworking people here. There's a lot of people who are living in apartments as well as large houses. The listeners to this broadcast are pastors of churches, theologians, police officers, florists, artists, public speakers, barbers, stylists, truck drivers. It started out with people interested in beards and everything about beards, and then it ended up morphing into some opinionated kind of stuff and commentary, which includes beards. But I mainly, my channel is all, Gray Bailey channel is all about being naturally beautiful and handsome. When I start working on the women and helping them with their natural beauty, it's going to be amazing. I think everybody needs to go as natural as possible. It takes years. Like, for instance, I stopped using deodorant 5 years ago. I stopped using commercial toothpaste 5 years ago. I stopped using shampoo 5 years ago. Just little things like that. Now, am I still putting things on my body and ingesting things that I shouldn't? Yes. Yes. Like, I know I have higher blood pressure. and I am diabetic. And I'm working on that. I need to make the lifestyle changes before there's some harsh realities that hit me up. So I'm working on those things little by little. Some changes have to be made. Like I haven't had any white bread in the past week. That's hard, because for me that means no hoagies, no pizzas, unless I eat a whole wheat pizza. And have you ever had a whole wheat pizza that you liked? I haven't. I have to find one. I don't have to worry about alcohol because I always cut myself off at 2. I never drink more than 2 of anything, and most of the time it's 1. And that one time it's always sipping. I don't like to alter my consciousness with chemicals or try to relax myself with chemicals. I really enjoy, for instance, when I have my bourbons, I like sipping, the tiniest sip, and I like swishing it around in my mouth, and I actually love the taste. Rocking chair and Mount Olympus. 2 things that can change your life. What is your Mount Olympus? Another Mount Olympus of mine is that I'm working towards being the first big white bearded television shopping host. It's gonna happen. I got the skills, I got the background. I don't have the look, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna host a television show. I'm thinking more like Travel Channel. I've always had the dream of hosting a show, writing a show, directing a show called Great Museums of the World, because I am obsessed with history. I'm obsessed with archaeology and old things and significant things and art. And I would love to be able to create a TV show called Great Museums of the World. What are your mountains that you need to go to? Make sure it's a mountain. Make sure it's Mount Olympus. Make sure it's not a volcano. You don't want to get to the top of your mountain and find out it's a volcano. That would really suck, right? You get to the top of your mountain and a volcano erupts. Don't sell yourself short when it comes to choosing a woman. Who you marry and who you have babies with is going to be such an amazing thing in your life, negative or positive. Take me word for it. I made the mistakes, so you don't have to. Think with your beard, not your Alright? That's so important. What are you doing this weekend? I gotta go listen to some rock and roll somewhere. I gotta find some rock and roll. I want to get back out on the dance floor too. I just love tearing it up a couple nights a week. I haven't done that in a while. And do you dance at all? Do you take your wives out dancing? Take your girlfriends dancing? You just go to a place and dance? And I'm not talking about going somewhere and dancing and drinking, because that kind of defeats the purpose of I dance to stay in shape. I haven't done it in probably a year and a half, and I used to go out twice a week and just tear it up for 3-4 hours, and I loved it. And I sweated out, and I was in shape. Now I get tired, and I'm sure it has to do with some of the physical stuff that I've ignored for over a decade. Now that's all going to come back into shape. It's all going to come back into order. I want to get back out again, dancing a couple nights a week. I do a lot of sitting and watching live music, and I love my rock and roll. Love it. And I have a lot of favorite bands that I follow, local. I love talented musicians. All right, I'm sitting in traffic right now in the grand metropolis outside of Philadelphia. Honestly, I don't even know if there's if there's an acre of undeveloped land left out this way, unless you buy property and keep it undeveloped. It's really hard to find. I mean, literally, I'm just looking around. I moved back to this area about 3 years ago, and I'm amazed at how developed. Son of a gun, if there's an empty space, damn, we got to put a building there. We got to build that up. And I love the whole concept of preservation of open space. It drives me crazy when I see every square foot has to be built up. People think I'm crazy when I exercise. I love, you know what my exercise mat is? The grass in my backyard. I love stretching, laying on the grass. I don't even put a mat down because I want to be in touch with the earth. I'm so sick and tired of being inside and breathing conditioned air and being in a manufactured workout environment. I need to do it more outside. Taking a walk around a park, stretching on the grass, drinking more water. I like green tea as well. Are you guys into green tea? Green tea is rad, man. I drink a liter of it every day. I make 4 liters for work. See this right here? And I make 4 of these at the beginning of my week, and I take 1 to work with me every day. Drink that all day long. So I'm drinking, and I sweeten it with stevia. I don't use sugar. All right, mothers and brothers, George Bruno, also known as the Sultan of Silver, on Instagram at George A. Bruno. On Periscope and Twitter at George Bruno. If you want to connect with me as far as business is concerned, if you have business ideas, find me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn.com for any business related stuff. I'm happy to connect with you there. My website, georgebruno.com. On Facebook, George Bruno Luxury Hair Experience. And YouTube as Gray Bailey. It's going to be a fantastic day today. Get out there and kill 'em, mothers and brothers. I'm with you. Peace be with you.